Okay. Yeah. So yeah, as I mentioned, like I was recording this and yeah, the first recording kind of ended for some reason. So I guess today's live recording is going to be in two parts. So if anyone like watches the replays, keep that in mind that the today's session, which is the 53rd session, is going to be in two parts. So and thank you for being patient with me. Okay, so I was reading Caitlin's message. So Caitlin says, the meditation was so beautiful. I am loving your chakra balancing series, or however you want to call them. The mantra and humming is so activating in a fun way. And my intention is I'm open to receiving guidance and intention for the week. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you so much. I'm glad, I understand that you were not able to write that before after the meditation because you are doing something else on the side. But I so appreciate you being here and, sharing this review. I'm glad that, that really helped. And yeah, and that is going like it is going to be published on Insight Time, but separate meditations would be published. It might take some time, but yeah, you can always listen to the recordings. And yeah, thank you for sharing your intention for with all of us. Let's see. Bella says, hola everyone. Hi Bella, welcome. So happy to see you here. Um, Bella says, I was trying to join Nicole live this morning and it wouldn't let me. Caitlin, the screen was black. Oh, I don't know what the issue is. Sometimes, like, tech just confuses us a lot, right? It can be a pain sometimes, although it has so many benefits. Bella says, take your time. Thank you so much, Bella. Okay. So, coming back to the numbers that, you guys chose. Bella says, Anisha, you look cute today. Thank you, Bella. Thank you. Hmm. Let's see. There were the numbers. Okay, I lost them somewhere. Yeah, here. Okay. And in case anyone new have joined, I am mentioning so we are going to, do a reading from the book Mind Made Prison. And I asked everyone to choose between page number 9 to page number 180 so that, that we can tune into your intuition and choose a reading for all of us today. So, yeah, so if you also feel called to share a number, you can do that in the comments. Cassandra says, morning. Good morning, Cassandra. Welcome. Thank you for tuning into the live. Trinity has chosen the number 99, Bella 52, Beck 99. Okay, interesting. So I'm going to go through the numbers and see, what wants to come through. Trish has chosen the number 12. Debbie has chosen a number. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah, I am feeling called to the number 9, which Debbie and Amber both have chosen. So let's see, what wants to come through from this page number for all of us. I'm just trying to find the starting of this thing. Okay. So the author says, we, like the people who support our beliefs and dislike the ones who don't. If someone doesn't like how we look, we will resent them. We seek and defend the truth because We think such a reality, we think such a thing really exists. We argue, cry, get depressed, fight, and even kill for the truth. You want to know why we don't have peace here on earth? Because of people who know the truth and want to shove their reality down the throats of others. It is time to put down your weapon and shield because what you are trying to defend is not really the truth. No concept, theory, or word can ever contain the whole truth. Everything is and always will be relative. Marcus Aurelius once said, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Once again, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. I guess, I don't have anything to add to this one. I think it perfectly summarized. The author was able to perfectly and clearly state what the author wants to say. So if it is resonating with you or if it applies to your situation in some way, you can share in the comments or maybe press the heart to let all of us know that a part of you resonate and can even use this wisdom, can use this reminder in relation to whatever is going on in your life right now. Thank you. Cassandra says, yes, absolutely. Take everything with a grain of salt. Exactly. And even and more importantly, what your mind tells you. So, not only what you hear around you, but also what your mind is saying to you about yourself or about other people. Because that is just your perception, that is just how you look at it. That is just you know, the mental model that has been created within you. So take everything with a grain of salt. Thank you, Cassandra, for sharing that. Bella says, yep, perfectly clear. Exactly. Yeah, so I don't think I need to elaborate on this one. And pretty powerful. Okay, so let's move on to the next reading. Hmm. The numbers are in two different places. So yeah, I'm just trying to scroll up and down and see what number is resonating more. Okay, so the number 35, I'm feeling more called to the number 35, and that number has been chosen by Chandni. Okay, let's see what wants to come through from this page number for all of us. Page number 35. Hmm. I'm just trying to see. This seems like a whole story. Okay. So there is like a whole story, and then there is, what the story wants to convey. So the author says, just because you are fearless in one area of your life, it doesn't mean that you don't have illogical beliefs that are holding you back in other areas. So many people beat themselves up when they procrastinate. They think it is because they don't have the willpower, or because they are not courageous, or because they are not simply courageous enough. The answers lie, the answer lies in their beliefs and the fact that they are getting secondary benefits. Most people never realize that they're actually getting huge secondary benefits from overeating, procrastinating, not expressing their emotions, or not following their dreams. It is a lost cause to try to overcome these secondary gains with pure willpower. And this is why so many people fail on taking actions towards reaching their goals. Some signs that your limiting beliefs are currently controlling you without you being aware of it are: first, you know exactly what you need to do on an intellectual level, but for some reason you never go ahead and do it. Second, you have the feeling that there is some power inside of you that is controlling you. And no matter how hard you try to reach your goals, this power always ends up choosing what you should do instead. So what you should do instead of what you want to do, what you need to do in order to go towards the goals. The third sign is you are constantly experiencing the same challenge over and over again. The fourth sign that you're having a limiting beliefs, in relation to whatever the area is that it seems like every time you take a step forward, you somehow end up taking two steps back. Finally, you feel powerless and in doubt when you think about some of the things you want to achieve in life. I know it seems like you're making conscious decisions, but you are not. You are simply reacting to external situations according to what your specific beliefs dictate. Since you are not aware of most of your beliefs, you are not really directing anything. Is my video okay? I think Amber mentioned that my video is frozen here. It is back. Okay. Um, yeah. So Cassandra says, "Wow, stop yelling at me." So a part of Cassandra is resonating with, all of these things that are telling her that there might be some or other limiting belief. So the author mentioned two things: when we want to do something, or we know intellectually we need to do something, but we don't do it. So there are two reasons why we don't. The first reason is that there might be some or other kind of secondary benefit that you're gaining from not doing it. So, usually people are like, maybe I'm not consistent enough, maybe I don't have the willpower, maybe I don't have this enough or that enough, right? But we never explore that what we are getting out of not doing it or doing it. So there are some secondary benefits attached to that, and which is why you're not able to do that thing, or you're not able to stop doing that thing based on your scenario. So the first thing is there might be some or other form of secondary benefit that you're getting out of this. And because your brain never does something that is not benefiting you at some level, or maybe it hasn't benefited you at some level in the past. So your brain is like is wired that way. And the second thing is that why you need to do something, or you want to do something but you are not able to do, is your limiting beliefs. So rather than calling them illogical, which seems like a bit harsh, and it might not be a right way to express it, but limiting, meaning that maybe those beliefs served you at some point in your life, but right now, in relation to whatever you want, they are limiting you. They are limiting you from, reaching your highest potential, from getting the things that you want. So, hence the term limiting beliefs. So, there might be some limiting belief related to that thing that is stopping you. Um, okay, I actually do have a course on that related to helping you identify your limiting beliefs. Would you like me to name that? If not, then I won't. But yeah, if anyone is interested, then let me know in the comments. Would you like to know the name of that course? Okay. Bella says, yeah, yeah. Linda says, yes, please. Okay. Cassandra says, yes, please. Okay. Yeah, because awareness is always the first step. So you need to become aware. And the author also mentioned that, because you don't know about those beliefs, you feel like there is some power that is stopping you, and maybe luck or maybe other factors, and you don't know what is actually stopping you. So once you become aware of them, once you shine the light of your awareness, their power also over you loosens a little bit, and then you can also work upon them. So let me like show you that, what is that course. So name of the course is this. So you can like either search for it on Insight Timer, or you can go to my profile, which is Anisha Maheshwari, go to the courses section, and yeah, go to the courses section, and you will see this particular course. The name of the course is Master Your Mindset by Identifying Your Limiting Beliefs. So I have poured like all of my knowledge in relation to this particular thing. Bella says, okay, with the pretty green leaves. Thank you. Yeah, I clicked that photo, after the rain. So yeah, I loved, I love, sitting with my plants and sometimes clicking those photos that, um, yeah, and especially after the rain, the weather is so good. Okay. So essays, how long is the course? Looks great. So yeah, it is like a 16-day course, and it might seem long to some and it might not, but yeah, I just try to like put everything that I know into this course, meaning, put every knowledge I had of like all these, therapeutic approaches like cognitive behavior therapy or REBT, rational emotive behavior therapy. So all of these approaches and everything, all of the other things into this course in order to help you identify your limiting beliefs. So, that is my promise that if you're going to take this course, you are going to, become aware of the limiting beliefs which are hidden deep inside you. So, if you want, I can also like, share that course along with the summary of, today's live, which I usually do in my little community on Insight Timer, which is Wonderful Beings. I will mention more about it in a bit. Essays, thank you. Okay, wonderful. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, more water. I need more water. So let's do one more reading before we wrap this live. Let's see. Let's go back to the page numbers that people mention between 9 to 180, and let's see what other number is calling me. And until I choose a number, if you feel called to, so if you are feeling, if you like this session, if you are getting anything valuable out of this session, and if you would like to support me in, continuing these lives, then you can do so by clicking on the donate button somewhere here. So since the interface, like it is shifted, so you might see a donate button somewhere here in the right bottom. So if you feel like supporting me, you can do so by clicking on that button and making a donation of whatever amount you feel called to. Okay, let's see. I will take a minute to just choose the number for our reading. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling called to is 99. So I think the number has been chosen by Srinidhi and Beck. And yeah, so Srinidhi and Beck, they chose the number 99 for all of us. So let's see what wants to come through from this. We did like a lot of nines today, and there are 9 people present right now. Like, apart from the people who joined, yeah, there were 9 people who were present. Okay, let's see, page number 99. It's a lot of nines today. Mm. Okay, so the author has shared a technique known as self inquiry, and it has like the author has shared an example of it. So, self inquiry is the method of going inside and questioning the validity of a given belief. When you find beliefs that are not serving you, you can use self inquiry to see why you believe that given thought. Likewise, if you suddenly feel negative emotions, you can use self inquiry method to figure out what caused that specific emotion and then start getting to the root of it. The importance of questioning the things you believe in lies in the fact that you often realize they are formed on completely arbitrary truths. Once you see how random the structure of some of your beliefs can be and that they really don't make any sense, they automatically lose a lot of their prior power because you realize they have no solid foundation. So it is kind of also reminding us of the first, reading that we did, which was about like, everything is kind of a perception and not the truth, not the only truth, not the fact. So the example of self-inquiry that the author has shared, especially is related to when you use the awareness method and notice an emotion. Okay, so the example goes like this. Let's say you run into an old classmate and decide to have a cup of coffee with her in order to catch up. As you sit in the cafe, your conversation goes in the direction of work, and she mentions that she has started her own business. So it's like a conversation. So she says that, so last year I decided to start my own business and it has become a huge success. What do you do? What do you, okay. What do you do for work? Now, let's say that you are a stay-at-home mom and this is something you always thought you were really proud of. The moment you go to answer, you suddenly notice a negative emotion, however. So you say, I don't really work right now. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. Now the author continues. By using the awareness method and bringing presence to your feelings, if you weren't already present, you notice that the emotion you felt was embarrassment or not being good enough. You take note of this emotion and when it occurred, so you can get to the bottom of it when you are alone. So it means like, whenever you are going, so maybe keeping like a journal. So can so an advice can be like keeping a journal and then, noting down what are the negative emotions that you feel during the day and what were the situations in which you felt those emotions. Now, the author continues, when your interaction is done, it is time to figure out what was really going on in your mind, to find the belief that caused the feeling of not being good enough. This is when we use self inquiry to get to the root of things. So we ask ourselves, why did I feel like I was not good enough when I said I was a stay at home mom? So you need to ask yourself these things, you need to do that inquiry within yourself to find the root, to find the limiting belief. So you ask that, so this person, this the example of this person, so this person asked herself that, why did I feel like I was not good enough when I said I was a stay-at-home mom? Maybe perhaps the answer comes that because she has become successful and she has her own company. Okay, makes sense. Then the then the lady asks herself, do I enjoy being a stay at home mom and spending time with my children? The answer comes, yes, of course. Then why did I feel like I wasn't good enough? Well, because she is going to think that I am not successful. Then you ask yourself again, or the lady asks herself again, why is it important to me that she thinks I am successful? The answer might come, because I don't want her to think I am just wasting my life. Then the lady asks herself, is spending time with my children wasting my time? The answer comes, no, of course not. Then why is it important that she thinks I am successful? The answer comes, so we are getting more and more deeper. The answer comes because I don't want her to think that I just gave up on my dreams, on my other dreams. Then the lady asks herself, why does it matters what she thinks of me? The answer comes because I want people to like me. Then you ask yourself again, why do I want people to like me? Because that gives me a really nice feeling, and I don't like if someone thinks ill of me. Why don't I like if someone thinks ill of me? Hmm. Well, I guess because that would mean that I am not good enough. So again, she asks herself, is my worth determined by what other people think of me? Well, not really, but ever since I was a kid, ever since I was a kid, I just learned that it is really important that others like you, and this has always stuck with me. Then you ask yourself, do I know with absolute certainty that this belief is true? The answer comes, no. Maybe you might agree with this or not, but if you reflect a lot, then the answer might come no. So, again, let me repeat that question. So the response that came up was that, well, not really, but ever since I was a kid, I just learned that it is really important that others like you. And that, and this has always stuck with me. So the lady asked herself, do I know with absolute certainty that this belief that it is really important others like you? So, do I know with absolute certainty that this belief is true? The answer comes no. Because now that you are an adult, you can see things, objectively. And maybe if you are not able to see it, you can take help of others, maybe a professional or someone like that, who can help you see things more objectively. So you can evaluate this belief. And when the lady asks herself, do I know with absolute certainty this belief is true? The answer comes no. Then next she asks herself, is this belief improving the quality of my life or not? Answer comes, it is not really improving my life because it is draining to constantly have to have everyone like you. Then finally you ask yourself, am I willing to change this belief? And the answer comes absolutely. So once you see that this is not serving you and how it is harming you, you're more likely to, change that belief, to be more open to change that belief, changing that belief. So that was the whole self inquiry thing that happened. Cassandra says, yes, we care too much what other people think of us. Yeah, there are some common limiting beliefs that, people have. And I do have actually listed that, listed all those beliefs, or not all, but some of those beliefs that are very common that affects most of the humans in that course that I mentioned about identifying your beliefs. So you're more likely to see that, yeah, I think I have this one belief. So this was like the whole process of firstly identifying your triggers, like noting down the negative emotions that you felt and which situations triggered you. And then asking yourself, and here's the thing, it is difficult for you to ask yourself all of this, because you really believe this belief. So it is difficult for you to do this on your own. It is more helpful to have a help of some other person who can see the truth behind your beliefs, because you can see this much only, you can see this much perspective, but the other person can see a lot of other things that you might not be able to see because you are under the influence of the belief. So that self inquiry process can work if you have done a lot of inner work yourself, and then you are applying this. But initially it might be difficult for you to be able to question your beliefs like this, because they are very deeply rooted within you. So let me see. Caitlin says, I like the quote. What other people think of us is none of our business. But that is a really tangled up one to get out of. Yeah, it is. Some of these beliefs, that's what I said, some of these beliefs are so common and they are in so many other people also that, yeah, it feels like um it's really difficult to change that sometimes. So at this point, I also want to make an announcement to all the women who are present here. So I'm offering a gift to all the women who are present here, and the gift is to get a complimentary coaching session with me. So if you would like to get a free 1 hour coaching session and have a powerful conversation with me around anything that you're going through, or maybe around this thing that we explored, like the limiting beliefs thing, or yeah, anything else, then what you can do is that you can message me on Site Timer. The way to message me is this. So you can go to my profile, which is Anisha Maheshwari. And if you're already following me, you would see the follow button becomes like gets replaced by the donate button, and above it, three dots appear. Click on the three dots. Sorry. Yeah, click on three dots and you would see message teacher option. So you can message me from here that Anisha, I'm interested in that. And yeah, I would love to offer you that session. I would love to support you in your journey because I have started doing this only recently, I think since February. And this has been really fulfilling for me to be able to help you in this manner, to be able to guide you in this manner to the best of my ability. And I can promise you one thing, that if you take this session, you're going to leave with at least one powerful insight from the session, because that has happened for every single woman that have worked with me. So, yeah. Hi, Rachel. It's so nice to see you here. I was seeing your bubble floating around at the top, and yeah, I was meaning to say hi to you all this while. So Rachel says, I had a 1 hour complimentary session with Anisha. It was very useful. Thank you so much, Rachel, for sharing, for your recommendation to others and sharing that. I'm glad that you got something out of that session. Caitlin says, ladies, I highly recommend investing your time taking up Anisha's offer. It was a wonderful chat and super deep and insightful. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for your wonderful, wonderful review of that complimentary session. And thank you for recommending it to others, for encouraging them to take up this opportunity. So thank you so much for doing that. Firefly is sending us a lot of hearts. Bella is sending us a lot of hearts. So yeah, so whenever you feel like it, you can message me and I would love to offer you that session. So I guess this is a nice point to wrap this session. I also need to like make few announcements for anyone who is joining us like for the first time. But before that, if you like found the session helpful in any manner, if you like the energy of the session or the space in itself, then you can support me in continuing these live sessions or any of my other free offerings like this complimentary session or anything or I have like some other things also free. You can check out the link tree. in my profile. So yeah, if you would like to, support all of these free offerings and help me continue, keep these lives going, then you can do so by pressing the donate button here. You might see donate written somewhere here in the right bottom. And yeah, and you can, donate any amount that you feel called to. Let's see. Bella asked, Anisha, did you go live yesterday? No, I did not went live yesterday. Um, yeah, I didn't. I am going to go live day after tomorrow. So I usually do these on alternate days. But yeah, like I took a break recently. So I took breaks here and there, but there also has been something going in my country, India. So because of which I didn't like scheduled the session and everything. So yeah, so like the lives have been not so regular. Um but yeah, I'm trying my best to, keep them regular. So yeah, so if you would like to join the next live, you can do so. It is a day after tomorrow. Um, Caitlin is sending prayers. Caitlin says, we appreciate you and you have been in my thoughts. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for that. Appreciate it. Sarah says, it's difficult to put oneself in situations trigger, knowing that trigger, that emotion. How does one start to do it? Hmm. Okay. They mean like, when you know that this particular situation is going to trigger you, and do you have to face that situation or do you have to like, or are you trying to face your emotions? So are you like intentionally trying to expose yourself to the situations? Well, either way, whatever the case is, yeah, it is difficult knowing that you're going to be triggered. It is difficult that, all of that unpleasantness is going to come through. So, what helps is knowing, Sarah says yes. Okay. So, what helps is, what helps us in any of the situation? Knowing that there is going to be support at some level. So, in the situation, knowing that whatever happens, whatever emotion is going to come up for you, whatever emotion is going to get triggered, you're going to receive that support. And you don't need to depend on someone else to receive that support, but on yourself, knowing that, once you are either going to take a break from the situation, you know, maybe take a bathroom break, or after the situation, you are going to be with that part of yourself that is feeling that emotion. You're going to be with it and you're not going to let it be alone and suffer in silence. You're not going to you're not going to suppress it. But knowing that you can be here, you can be there with that emotion without getting overwhelmed by it, but instead giving that part of your compassion. And you have the capability to do that. You might realize it when you start to try to sit with your emotions, maybe not the bigger ones, but little maybe like little inconvenience, causing a little frustration, or little emotions, so that are not so overwhelming, maybe a little bit frustration like that. So yeah, when you are going to try to sit with those emotions and you're going to be compassionate to yourself, it can involve just it can involve saying something kind to you in that moment. It can involve placing a hand where you are feeling that emotion. So that act of kindness, that act of compassion can be anything for you. It can even be just moving your body or applying a regulation technique to yourself so you don't drown in that emotion. Bella says, that makes a lot of sense, Anisha, and you are not even speaking to me. I'm glad that, this is resonating with other people as well. Sarah says thanks. Thank you for your question, Sarah. Yeah, so maybe like try to build your capacity to be with your emotions because you cannot block them out. You cannot block the negative emotions without blocking the positive ones too. So if you want to really feel alive, if you really want to feel what living feels like, then you need to, actually try to build that capacity or at least have the courage to try to sit with minor emotions and show compassion to yourselves. And when you know that you will be able to handle the emotion no matter what happens. And handling means you're not suppressing, but you're going to be able to meet the emotion with kindness. Then you would be able to, take those actions or face those situations that triggers that. So that is my answer. Moving to the comments that I missed. Um, Bella says, yes, I conquer Caitlin. Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. Amber says, Anisha, you are so generous with the community here. You're doing awesome shares. Thank you so much, Amber. I'm glad that you are resonating with all of us. And thank you for all the hearts that are flowing in. I see you guys as well. Thank you for that. Caitlin says, Sarah, CBT helped me a lot with that. Anisha courses have lots of useful information. Yeah, and you can refer that. Thank you, Caitlin, for mentioning that. So I have like okay, so I would make three recommendations here. That first two are the courses that Caitlin is mentioning here. And those are the most popular courses of mine on Insight Timer, like 2000 people or something have taken these courses. So I hope that they would benefit you as well. Um, Give me a second. Yeah. So this is the first course, and the name of this course is Transform Your Negative Thoughts and Master Healthy Thinking Using CBT. And this is actually the first ever course I published on Insight Timer as well. So yeah, and yeah, this is I think my second most popular course here. So I hope that this is going to help you with something in relation to that. And the other course on CBT, since Caitlin mentioned, is this one. So the name of this course is Master Your Thoughts by Overcoming Common Thinking Errors. So this is another course, and this involves all the thinking errors that we all as humans, fall prey to, and hence um get under the influence of and then react in ways that don't serve us. So this is the second course. I can mention like these in the community. I will just tell you about the community. And the third recommendation that I have for you is this. So I was talking about emotion regulation techniques. So I have created like a whole playlist for you, which says self-soothing techniques. So it has all the emotion regulation techniques. It has it has all the emotion regulation techniques. So when I said that you would like you can go to the situations knowing that you can handle the emotions. So you can use these techniques if the emotions become overwhelming, especially like the premium ones, because I think I have like created these in, keeping that in mind. So you can check these out. Sarah says thank you. Let me see a lot of other comments also. Bella says, Caitlin, I have to catch one of your lives. You be the talk of the town, girly. Yeah, guys, by the way, Caitlin is another teacher on Inside Timer, and she is just amazing. She is super friendly, and her lives are so much fun. And like, it's like, you're having a chat with your friend. So, yeah, I would highly recommend, checking out Caitlin's live. Let's see. Caitlin says, so for me, CBT was helpful in redirecting my rage. I was able to track my actions and reroute my thoughts eventually and simmer in the lower level emotions like annoyance. That is a huge progress. I was able to sit with it and let it run its course without getting escalated all the way to rage or whatever. Yeah, because your thoughts are that fuel to the fire, you know. So if you sit with it and if you are not adding to your thoughts, then, you know, that is going to run its course, as Caitlin mentioned. But you can apply it to any set of emotions. Exactly, exactly. You know, any difficult emotion that you are struggling with, you can apply CBT to all of it. Um, let's see. Bella says, "Oh, cool. Okay, it's a playlist. Thank you for creating this, Anisha. I didn't see the playlist." Okay, yeah, I have like other playlists too, in case you are wondering. So yeah, I have this other playlist in relation to it. This one, mindfulness meditation challenge. So it is like a 15-day meditation challenge, especially mindfulness meditation challenge, and it has like I have tried to clear up all the myths related to mindfulness, as well as I have also tried to like add all the foundation practices of mindfulness in this. And yeah, so they were also like a recording. So basically, I did the series on Insight Timer, this live event, and yeah, I have extracted the recording and published the tracks here. And I'm doing that for these lives as well. So for each Wheel of Wisdom lives, we have done at least one meditation at the starting of each live. So right now we have like 60 or 61 meditations, and I'm publishing them each like one by one. And right now, one meditation comes every week, and all the meditations that have been published until now, I have like mentioned that in this playlist, Wheel of Wisdom Meditations. And these are all the meditations that have been released up until now. The latest one has is Feeling Held and Supported by the Universe. So if you are interested, you can check these out as well. And okay, now I mentioned about a few announcements. We got like misdirected. Coming back to them, but let me read the comments before that. Bella says, I need to start page surfing better. Yeah, there is a lot of things that are not revealed on Inside Timer. Like, it is hard to find. It has a lot of features, and on teachers' page also, there are a lot of things. So we are not able to explore all that. So yeah, I welcome, in fact, not just Bella, but all of you to maybe just, if you are interested in my content, then yeah, you can just, search for my name, Anisha Maheshwari, and go through my profile. There are a lot of things there. And also for any other teacher also on Insight Timer, just explore the lovely offerings by your teachers that you love most. Caitlin says, haha, Bella, I know there is so many resources in the platform, but it's hard to use. It's because I'm always in the lives. Okay, yeah. So the last announcement that I need to make is the first one. This is getting recorded. So the way to access this recording, in case you missed the meditation or the readings, or you would like to access the previous Wheel of Wisdom lives, because this is the 53rd one. And we started this January doing the series. So what I have done is that the way to access this and all the other recordings is, again, open my profile, go to the About section, scroll all the way down, and you will see this link tree thing here. So you can click on the link tree and you will see, Wheel of Wisdom replay there. So you can click on that, and I have like a whole playlist of all the lives there, and I have numbered them. Why I have done that? Because I want you to have fun with yourself and practice tuning into your intuition. So, what I recommend is that when you open that playlist, choose a number between 1 to 53, and whatever number comes up, just watch that live and know that that message wanted to come to you today. So if I'm not going live and you need guidance, you can just, play with that playlist. Okay, yeah, play with that playlist. And yeah, that is my first announcement. Although the recordings does take like 1 hour to get uploaded on my channel, so what I do is that if you would like immediate access to the readings that we have done today, to know the names of the book or the type of meditation that we have done today. So what I do is that after each live, within 5 or 10 minutes, I upload the summary of that in my little community on Inside Timer, which is Wonderful Beings. So I have a group on Inside Timer. If you scroll on my profile on the homepage only, all the way down. So below the playlist, you will see Wonderful Beings. And yeah, if you would like, to get the summary after each live, or also to get the updates, like if I cancel any live because of something, which I rarely do, but yeah. Bella says Wonderful Beings is our group. Oh, I love that. Thank you for referring it to as our group. Means a lot. Yeah, because you all are wonderful beings. You're full of wonder and you don't know that. So yeah, I like calling you guys wonderful beings. Um, yeah. So if you would like an update or get to know if any new track of mine is getting released and get the summary after each live, then you can join that group, and I would be so happy to have you in that group. Um, yeah. And anything else? Yeah, and if you would like to get notified about the lives, or if you would like to get notified about the tracks that I said I'm releasing, like I'm releasing one meditation from this Wheel of Wisdom series on Insight Timer every week. So if you would like to get notified about that, and if you are not already following me, then you can follow me on Insight Timer. So that's it for today. Again, if you feel called to support me in continuing these lives, you can do so by clicking the button here, the donate button, and share whatever you feel called to share. And I am so grateful to just have you for your presence. And I love, all of the comments, all of the people who press the hearts, who interact, and who don't, who are just observing and just being here with me. I'm grateful to have you all in this beautiful space. And you guys make it beautiful. So that's it for this live. Namaste. My wish for you is that in the next 24 hours, something wonderful happens in your life that brings a smile to your face. Bella says, thank you, Anisha. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Bella, for tuning in. And yeah, one last thing, a reminder, if any women would like to get that complimentary session, you can message me on Insight Timer. Okay. Bye bye.